Wash them hands, y'all. Because there's no way you can live in your purpose. If you're sick, there's no way you can live in your purpose. If you got corona, there's no way you can live in your purpose. If you got a sedentary lifestyle, all right? Because in addition to corona that's putting people in the hospital, you can be put in the hospital just by your sedentary lifestyle, all right? I'm Andre, and this is the Speak Your Life podcast, where we talk about everything as it relates to education, careers, values, mentors, and anything to do with purpose. We do this one impactful conversation at a time, whether a solo dolo with yours truly or our amazing guests to share stories, industry insights, encouraging words, and calls to action that can help you get closer to your why. Become a part of the Speak Your Life community by subscribing today to the podcast and following us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Speak Your LYFE, because life without your why is meaningless. There we go. All right, cool. Like I said, as you can see, I got my Ohio State shirt on because go Buckeyes. We just got a nice transfer from Oklahoma University. Trey Sermon as a running back. Yay. Let's go Bucks. All right. So, first of all, I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in today to the Speak Your Life podcast. As you guys know, my name is Andre, and I'm the host. And again, just so thankful for you guys because you could have been tuning anywhere else, to any YouTube channel, to any podcast out there, but you're tuning in today to Speak Your Life podcast, and you just because you love us so much. Thank you guys so much, and we love you too, because without you guys we wouldn't be here. So, all right, so today, guys, we're gonna talk about staying on your purpose while social distancing. All right, so we're going to talk about, a couple of things because we got so much craziness in the world. There's so much news. There's so much, just craziness going on. People are just losing their minds. People are scared. People are panicking because this is a pandemic. So I guess I can understand, and it's really unfortunate, but it is what it is. So let's just go with the flow while pursuing our purpose. So today we're going to talk about three things. Those three things are: one, how this whole thing has affected us all. Number two, we're going to talk about why it's important to stay proactive mentally and physically during this whole period. And three, we're going to talk about practical ways for you to stay on your purpose while practicing social distancing. Yay! No, not really. All right, so I really hope that you guys are staying safe indoors and enjoying your Corona beers, which, contrary to many Google searches out there, does not actually give you the virus. So, you crazy people out there that believe that, just stop it. Just stop it. Stop spreading. Stop. I can't even speak right now. Stop spreading false facts and spreading all these things to scare people, because it's not good. It's just causing more damage to society. All right, so obviously things are shutting down, have already shut down, from institutions all the way from, grade schools all the way to colleges and universities. Everything's been shut down because of Rona. And if you have, it's just like, not just the schools, but, the economy too, man. It's just like, if you ever seen that video, I don't know, I think it's from back in like 2014 or 2015, Scarlet Takes a Tumble, man, that thing was funny. But, I just want to say that pretty much describes our economy right now. Scarlet taking a tumble, the U.S. taking a tumble, like our economy is taking a tumble right now because it's just people are losing jobs. People are losing money in the stock markets. They're crashing. The government's trying to slap a Band-Aid on a gun wound, so to speak, and it's just not really helping because even though they're pumping trillions of dollars into the financial markets, it seems like it's going to help, but really it's not, because the stock market has been frozen a couple of times between this past week and the week before, and it's just insane. It is just insane. I even had a friend who told me last weekend, dude lost $65,000, 65 stacks. Man, woo! I gotta have a funeral. I feel like I gotta have a eulogy prepared for that. It's just a sad occasion. It feels just like a funeral. It just feels like it's just so sad. Like, what's going on here? People can't do anything. They're just, Anyways, it just feels like this whole Corona thing just not gonna sound like a Mike Tyson blow. It's just insane. It's just crazy because, like I said, people were losing their jobs left and right. My dad and I work in the airline industry, as many of you guys know, and it's just, it's sad because there's a lot of voluntary leaves that they're out there that they need, people to take so that they don't have to make involuntary, furloughs and just a lot of cuts in because the routes are cutting. And so it's not just the airline industry that's affected. Everybody's affected. But it's just a sad time for everybody. So, but I will say this. I will say, there are people still working out there doing their jobs, and the jobs are deemed as necessary, like security, food industry, government, and of course, healthcare industry. Big shout out to all those people out there doing their thing and just helping us and supporting us as we move as a community, as a society, moving forward, going through this together, because we just don't know what the end, when the end is coming. We just don't know. And so, from Walmart workers to, TSA, hospitals, and just everybody in between, I sincerely thank you on behalf of Speak Your Life from the bottom of my heart, and just for honestly just, your sacrifice. Really, it literally is a sacrifice, because you are putting your health at risk, you're putting your life at risk, all for the sake of helping us all, really. So thank you. And just as a side note, I really hope they come through with that stimulus package very soon, because that will help. That'll help us all out. I really got some bills to pay. But anyways, that's not what we're gonna talk about. All right, guys, we're gonna we talked a little bit, about how this is affecting us all. But now we're gonna talk about why it's important to stay busy and active mentally and physically. Well, physically and mentally. I want to talk about the physical part before I get to the mental part. So, while I'm sure we can all binge on Criminal Minds or, all 9 seasons of The Office for the 59th time in a row, it is essential that we stay proactive physically and mentally while pursuing our purpose, guys. Time waits for nobody. Nobody. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to look back at this time? Are you going to be like, man, I got... I accomplished a lot. I'm proud of myself. Or you're going to look back at this time and just say, man, I got so many regrets. My brain is dead from watching 100,000 hours of Netflix and YouTube and TikTok, all that crazy stuff. So, but hey, I just want to say no judgment or shade to the people, who are binging out there, because, we're all human. I've caught myself slipping a couple of times and had to bring myself back, because it's easy. It's so easy to be tempted to watch, to binge on random YouTube videos about this or that, Daily Show, or I don't know, whatever. There's a lot of stuff out there that you can watch, but just it's good to stay focused, because even despite all those temptations, despite all the things that you could be doing that are just, just time wasters that are not really benefiting and bringing value to your life, this message is for people who understand, the people who are flawed, people who, have these temptations that they're facing, and they want to binge, they want to do all these things and want to play video games, but they are still, despite all that, are still staying motivated, still pursuing their passion, and just surrounding themselves with, great people, by phone call and text, and just staying encouraged to pursue their passions. So, and if you are not one of those people, that is totally fine. And again, this message is not for everybody. This message is for the people who are looking to pursue their passion despite the craziness that's going on right now. So, all right. So because really in Speak Your Life, we're really all about not just doing, we're about becoming something better, becoming something greater than what you are right now. Because the thing is, I honestly think, it's my personal opinion, it's sad to think that you're the same person after this whole thing is said and done. You're the same person that you came entering this, quarantine / social distancing period of history. I think that's a sad way to go, because if you're the same person after it's all said and done, then when you first came in here, if you're the same person, that I just really believe in self motivation and growing and developing. So that's what we're here all about. We're here to encourage each other. I know I slip up and fall sometimes, and I have you guys to keep me motivated, keep me going, and understand that I gotta send this podcast when I at a certain time. And so I want to stay motivated, and I hope that I am motivating you guys. So it's a win-win situation here. So all right, so again, if you're looking for a message, a good message to keep you positive, keep you motivated, you've come to the right place. I can't stress enough the importance of living in your purpose while indoors, and living, despite this quarantine, social distancing life. But, before we, talk more about that, I just got to say, drink your water, eat your healthy foods, fruits and vegetables, organic foods, all that stuff, and wash them hands, y'all, because there's no way you can live in your purpose. If you're sick, there's no way you can live in your purpose. If you got corona, there's no way you can live in your purpose. If you got a sedentary lifestyle, all right? Because in addition to corona that's putting people in the hospital, you can be put in the hospital just by your sedentary lifestyle, all right? So just be mindful of that. We want to just always, be growing and developing physically and mentally. So what I want to do right now is share some alarming facts from lifespanfitness.com that are pretty interesting. One, the average American spends 11 hours a day sitting down, like I am right now. You see? But, man, it's just crazy. It's just because even though it's 11 hours according to this statistic was, discovered before corona ever came about. So, it's just one of those things where, like, imagine what that number has moved up to now. All these statistics I'm sharing with you are probably like doubled, with corona, So just be mindful of that and just try to combat that. Start walking, start jogging, start running. If you're like on FaceTime and you're with your friends, you can walk around the neighborhood, and you don't have to socialize with your neighbors. You can just walk around with your FaceTime and do all that and get your workout in. It's all good. Or if you got a treadmill, if you don't like going outside because you get allergies like me, that's all good. So, all right, number 2, 300,000 deaths occur annually due to inactivity and poor dietary habits in the United States alone. That is insane. That is crazy. Number 3, 20% of all deaths of people 35 and older are attributed to a lack of physical activity. Again, guys, get active, get proactive with your physicality, with your mentality, and just get out there and walk around, just jog around, run around the neighborhood, just be active somehow. All right, and number 4, 65% of Americans watch 2 or more hours of TV every single day. And I know that stat has like doubled, tripled, or quadrupled with this corona thing going on. So, man, it's just insane. I don't know, take some time, just have some quiet time. Read a book, do something else. So, that's that. And number 5, only 6.5% of Americans meet the minimal physical guideline requirements for work physically. That's pretty sad. Again, all these statistics are making me sad right now. I just want to get some tissues. I don't have tissues. I only got toilet tissue. Anyways, you guys can't have it. So, number 6, sedentary lifestyles are responsible for an estimated $24 billion in direct medical spending. This is crazy, guys. $24 billion, not million. And according to the statistic, it says that women are more likely to lead sedentary lifestyles than men. Now, that's not to say, men out there, that just because this statistic says this does not mean that we are not capable of falling in the rabbit hole as well. Does not mean that we are not capable of getting caught up in the sedentary lifestyle as well. So Men and women, get out there and get active. All right. Stop the excuses and start the execution. I'm gonna say that one more time. Stop the excuses. Oh, microphone's about to fall. Stop the excuses and start the execution. All right, so have a healthy routine. We talked about the physical part. Now we're going to talk about the mental part. Have a healthy routine, because it's healthy to have a routine. And I know some of you guys are used to going to the office, going to meetings, business meetings, and all that stuff, running around doing errands and things like that. But you have to find a way to modify your schedule. You have to find a way to modify your routine, because, again, this is an unexpected occurrence. And so, therefore, you must go with the flow. You got to kind of work with, what you got. So, if you're used to meetings face to face, obviously you're going to have to cut that down and just cut that out right now for the time being until things get settled. So you might need to become best friends with Zoom. If you have never heard of it, you heard of it now, because Zoom is a great video calling platform, an app you can use your phone, you can get on your laptop and use it. And it's just something that I personally love using. And there's another one out there called Blue Jeans you can use as well, but that one you got to pay for. And I'm all about free, so I am an advocate of Zoom, and no, they are not paying me. I just like promoting them because I personally love it. So, because honestly, I honestly had some people I was supposed to interview in these next couple of weeks, and we just had to modify and work around things because for obvious reasons. But we didn't allow that to stop us, because, we could have just rescheduled it, but we don't know when that date, we could reschedule, because we don't know when this is going to end. It could be weeks, it could be months, who knows? So that's why I stuck to Zoom, because we can just do video calls and record the podcast there. So anyways, that's all about Zoom. Enough about Zoom. Now we're going to talk about somebody that you guys know about that has made an amazing, wonderful contribution to our society. So, in 1665, yep, we're bringing it all the way back there. In 1665, during the Great Plague, not to be confused with the Black Plague, because they're two different things. The Great Plague of 1665 in London, it was killing people left and right. And the crazy thing is, it had a connection to China, because there's a lot of shipments and imports and exports, going between China. And there was like some rats and things like that were on the shipments, and they had some bacteria that they just get transferred back and forth. And so there was an outbreak that happened, and people in London were dying left and right. Over 100,000 people were killed, and the king at the time left because just obviously it was not safe to be there. And so there was this young man named Sir Isaac Newton, as many of you guys know. He was 20 years old at the time, and he was studying at Cambridge University. And at this time, and he, obviously had to go home. So many of you guys, whether you're going to Columbia, Harvard, or wherever school you're going to, had to go home for an unexpected occurrence like this. He had to practice social distancing, just like us. And during this time, he called this his wonder year. Why? Because essentially, when this occurrence happened, he was home, he was, isolated, he was in solitude. He started, these discoveries and these findings of calculus, optics, motion, and gravitation. It was outside of his window where the famous apple fell from the tree. And that's when he really started to hone in on the discoveries and the laws of gravity. So, what is the moral of the story? Social distancing could lead to your biggest creative outlets in writing, vlogging, or discoveries in science like Newton, or whatever your purpose may be. Obviously, this is a unique time in history. There will be no other time like this. Maybe the closest you can get to this is during the times of your lazy days and summer days when you were a kid. But other than that, not really. This is a very unique time. So look at this time as a way to, as an opportunity for you to hone in on your skills, your talents, your passions, and your purpose. So just don't waste it, because again, time is moving so fast. It's already the end of March, guys. We're heading into April. That's insane. I just remember when it was like about to, be the 1st of January. Again, use this as a time to pursue your passion. So now on part number 3, which is the practical takeaways. Number 1, start by reading things you're interested in, from articles or books. How to get started with a YouTube channel, how to begin your podcast that you've been talking about since 2015 with your friends. Or maybe you're interested in trading on the financial markets. I know it's not really so great for a lot of you out there who are trading stocks, but there's Bitcoin, there's cryptocurrencies, there's all these things. I'm personally more interested. I know a lot of people are into the Forex. Has become a recent trend, but I'm personally interested in have a passion for options trading, and I will leave a link below for all you people who don't really know about it and are beginners and want to learn more. It's a great way to make a little side cash like I have. So check that out. And again, like with anything, this does involve risk. So I want to warn you, I'm not your financial advisor. So if you lose any money, don't come blaming me. So, all right. Number 2, I would say start watching YouTube videos. And not just any YouTube videos, because again, you can get caught up in a rabbit hole. You can start watching The Daily Show, which is great. You can start watching stuff about Beyonce and Jay-Z and the Illuminati and yada, yada, yada. But that's not really going to bring value to your life. And that's not going to add anything to your life at all. So watch videos that have a clear direction and a clear focus on subjects and things that you're passionate about, like how-tos or even TED Talks or different things like that. They'll just give you that boost. They'll just bolster you and just give you that little nudge to just push you to get started, because maybe you have that desire, maybe you have that thought, and maybe you just need to turn and convert that thought, that idea, into something where it's actionable items. So that's using a Jay-Z term actually. But anyways, the third thing is lynda.com. All right, lynda.com is a great way to learn some technical skills. And there's a lot of things you can learn about different programs, different platforms out there for whether you're doing marketing, social media marketing, or editing videos. There's different platforms you can learn about, Photoshop, all on lynda.com. And also masterclass.com, which is a personal favorite of mine. Again, this is not a free advertise. It is not an advertisement. I'm not getting paid to say this, but I just personally love it. And the reason why, let me just also say, these 2 things are not free. They do come with a cost, but they're totally worth it. I personally have gained a lot from masterclass.com, watching things on Malcolm Gladwell, who's my favorite author, about how to author a book, which I will one day, and you can too. Also, I watched a few things on Chris Voss, who is a former FBI agent, and he worked with the FBI in just negotiating and just like hostile negotiations, and so he's really good with negotiations. He even started his own company called Black Swan and has helped many Fortune 500 companies to bolster their negotiation skills in business. And also, I've learned a lot from entrepreneurship skills with Sarah Blakely. Many of you know her as the Spanx Lady, and she's awesome, she's smart, she's talented, and she has a lot of insight. And so definitely go out and check her things out. And also the cool thing about her, her company's based in Atlanta. What's up? Represent. So I'll provide the link below for that as well. So guys, as we come to the close, we've covered 3 things in this episode. 1, we talked about how this has affected all of us, this corona thing. 2, why it's important to stay proactive physically and mentally. Also, we talked about practical ways for you to stay on your purpose in the midst of social distancing and in solitude. All right. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in to today's episode. It's not like you were going anywhere, but we just still want to thank you for joining us today. You could have listened to any other podcast, but you're listening to this one, Speak Your Life Podcast, right now. So if you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the podcast, whether you're on Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, and if you're on Apple Podcasts, be sure to not only subscribe, but also leave a nice written review if you connected or liked anything that was said in today's episode. So also, if you have any questions or maybe even have a episode suggestion a topic you would like for us to cover, be sure to hit us up. Or if you just want to hit us up and just talk, just hit us up on any social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Speak Your LYFE, because life without your Y is meaningless. Thank you again so much. We love you guys, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.